was out is my excuse, so you're not going to get any of that. And don't expect lots of theory, except in the beginning. Theory is great to have an understanding of how advertising works, but it's better to know the actionable stuff. Like I said, I want you to walk out of here knowing how to write Facebook ads and to make millions. No promises. All right, now last thing is there's absolutely no memes. So again, this is the last of the graphics, fun, mind blown. That's all you get, except for that. Okay, so what is Facebook to marketers? Well, Facebook is simply a billboard to the whole world. And by that I mean you've got people going on Facebook, and when I say Facebook, I mean Facebook and Instagram. Does everybody have a Facebook and Instagram? Just anybody doesn't have one? Okay, that's what I thought. So it's simply a billboard to the world. And I know a lot of people who have tried Facebook advertising and it hasn't worked for them. And I hear it a lot where they say, well, it doesn't work. Well, that's false, because there's over 2 billion people on Facebook and Instagram, and they will buy products if you sell it properly. So that's pretty false. So anybody can sell on it. Anybody can make money. You just have to be good at selling someone you have that you have what they want. Already asked that question. Okay. So if you have a piece of paper, if you want to write something down, or if anybody's taking notes, I'm going to go through 3 different layers to advertising. Literally, you write these things down, and you'll know how to write ads when we walk out of here. So the first one is having a specific audience in mind. Knowing who you're talking to is the most important start to advertising to somebody. If you don't have an idea of what that person is dealing with, the problems that they have, there's no way for you to talk to solving that problem if you don't know what it is. So the second part is having a high value offer. I see a lot of people who are trying to make it work, and they say, you know, James, I have a product and I'm selling this $5,000 chair online and I'm giving a 10% discount. Well, 10%, okay, great. That's not much. So 10%, when you look at it, people are not going to jump at just a small number like that. So a better way to look at it is maybe for something such a high product price, throw in something else. You know, if you're selling a chair, throw in an armchair or a footstool. I'm making this up, I don't know. But something like that. And then thirdly, a catchy message. If you go on Facebook or Instagram, I'm just going to guess here, you probably aren't there to buy something. Like, you're probably there to be entertained, look at cat videos. I do that like every other day. You probably don't want to be sold. So you have to have something that's catchy. If you're advertising to people who are scrolling through Facebook, it's got to be somewhat interesting. Honestly, half of the ads that I run, they have emojis in it, and I have no shame in that. And finally, proper follow-up. If you walk into a retail store and you go shopping, whether it's clothes shopping or you're looking at cars, there's a good chance you're probably not going to buy right away. So what happens online is if you see something that's interesting and you click on it and you check out all the cool videos about this new car that you could buy, but then you leave because you get distracted, what happens is most people don't follow up with you. So how many people have actually seen ads that once you've gone to like Amazon and you've checked out, I don't know, a dog collar, and you've gone somewhere else and now you start seeing the ads everywhere from that website? So that's proper follow-up. That means that you've gone somewhere, shown interest, so the advertisers have figured out, okay, you went to our site, you're clearly interested, let's show this to you again until you are actually ready to buy. So that's what that means. Okay, the next level down is these are the elements to a good advertisement on Facebook and Instagram. You need to have an interesting hook, something that will stop people in their tracks, something that will just get their attention. The second is setting the proper tone. So I work with a lot of different industries, and there's a big difference between if you're selling yourself as an attorney that you're going to get somebody out of a legal issue versus if you're trying to sell dog collars. Would you all agree that that probably would be a little bit different sounding? A lot of people don't pay attention to that, but you need to set the proper tone. And number 3, good images. We all love looking at pretty things. So good images, that's what Instagram is for. And 4th, a good headline. You need to have something that's catchy, that's at the very end of the ad, that entices people to click in. And I'll talk about all that in just a minute. This is the last step. This is the actual practical, tactical stuff. You get these 5 things down, you're going to win. No guarantees. So the first one is ask who I'm talking to. That's the audience. So let's say you're a CrossFit gym. I have an example of a CrossFit gym. You probably want to target to people that are active, people that are probably interested in hiking or bicycling, that are really crazy and they do the crazy powder drinks routine, whatever else they do. So that's the first thing. You need to know who you're talking to. The second one is, what is the problem that I'm solving for them? Now, example of a CrossFit gym. So for a CrossFit gym, what people usually lack is accountability. They may not have a community, a group of people they can go socialize with and get their game on. It's possible that they don't have the best shape of their life, and they need to have a place to go to with a routine. So those are all problems that you want to address to solve it. Number 3, what is the theme of the ad? We can talk about that in a minute. Number 4, back to the imagery. And number 5, back to what is my offer. All right, so let's make a good ad together. So I'm going to take an example of a CrossFit gym. And I've taken out, this is probably men and women. You could split it up and talk differently. Because I'm sure we can all agree that men and women talk way differently, right? So the age group, we'll just make up something and say 25 to 45 years old. Location, Orlando. Interest, exercise, CrossFit, healthy lifestyle, biking, hiking, working out. What's the problem that I'm solving? If I'm a CrossFit gym and I need to advertise and get people into my gym, what am I solving? Well, I just talked about a few minutes ago. You might have an unhealthy lifestyle. You might be out of shape. So the CrossFit gym is there to solve that. By the way, if anybody has questions, feel free to interrupt me at any time, yell at me, wave your hand, smoke signals, anything. Okay, so number 3, what is the theme to start the ad? So I don't want to overwhelm, but this is the cheat sheet that nobody ever shared with me. I kind of made half of this up. The other half I got from other experts around me. So I can send this to you guys. There's a lot, but this is the beginning of every ad that I ever write. So what is the theme to start the ad? There's many different things you can look at. You can start out with something fear. Something bad is going to happen to you. There's a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? I don't recommend using that one. It doesn't work that well. Tell a story. I have a solar client, and I have how a Central Florida resident went solar and saved $100,000. Paint a picture. So I have a home designer as a client. Part of their ad says, imagine sitting in the front of your beautiful home, sipping tea on the back porch and the waves crashing by you. Your kitchen has an open feel, and you're sitting at home with your kids. Painting a picture like that is much better than, hey, talk to a home designer and get your home built. You need to have much more emotion. You need to be able to paint the image of what they're wanting. Curiosity. You won't believe what happened when this church went solar. Join the cause. If you are tired of whales losing water, click here to petition. Just stop it. Stop spending an hour fixing dinner every night. Announcements, those are really good. Attention massage therapist, are you struggling to get new customers into your spa? Sick and tired, that one makes sense. Name dropping, see why Bill Gates called us the next Microsoft. I haven't used that one, it's a little untruthful, so use it at your own discretion. Education. So education is one of the highest valuable type of ad that you can have. Actually, I'm curious, how many people know who Ty Lopez is? Okay. So Ty Lopez, Here in My Garage is his famous video, and he talks about, for 10, 15, 20 minutes, about the success habits in his life. Health, wealth, love, and happy, whatever his tips are. And that ad brought in millions of dollars for him. And the reason why it worked was several things. The first one is everybody loves Lamborghinis. I know I do. So that worked. But secondly, he actually taught people something. So people stayed engaged. When people are learning, it's fun, and you get a new perspective on something, so people stay engaged with you. And then finally, make an offer. Just have a straight offer. This works best when you have a small product. If you are selling a dog collar. I'm going to stop using that example. I hate dog collars. But a product, something that's cheap, under $10, $15, you can use that. Say 20% off toilet paper. It should work. And by the way, the reason why that would work is because the value is already inherent. People already understand how toilet paper works, so you don't really have to tell them about it. All right, so walking through the ad creation. What imagery, video can I use? I Googled this. Thought it looked pretty legit, so there it is. What is the offer that I'm going to do? A free 1-hour CrossFit class. So this is the result of the 5 things that we put together beforehand. This is not my favorite ad. I wrote this in about 2 seconds. But you'll get the idea. So Attention Orlando, getting their attention. We're giving 10 first-timers a week of CrossFit for free. These classes are specifically for beginners who are serious about getting in shape and creating a healthy lifestyle. Click to find out if you've got what it takes. And at the bottom, the headline says, get your free 1-hour CrossFit class. So that is the structure of how to build a good ad. I'd spend probably another hour myself and kind of tweak it. There's a lot of things I would throw in there. But generally, that's the framework to follow. Okay. We're there. So any questions about what I just talked about? Anything that was crazy? Everything make sense? Awesome. By the way, that was everything. That's your whole career, like just in 5 minutes. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to have an activity where I can split out about 10 people per group. I think, do you know how many people are in here? You have an idea? 50? I'm not going to try counting. Okay. Anyway, split up into groups of 5 to 7, whatever you feel like. If you have friends that are right next to you, grab them. And just kind of make a little space so we can see that you're in different groups. What we're going to do is we're going to pick an industry for each of your groups. You're going to pick on your own. And you're going to pick your audience, the problem you're solving, and the type of offer. Once you get to pick your type of offer, then I'll show you the theme table again so you can pick from that. So go ahead and get into your groups, pick the 5 or 7 people around you, and 7? What time is it? Oh, I'm blinded. Okay. What's that? That really worked out perfectly? Wow. You're fine. Unhook your audio. Did everybody understand what picking an industry meant? Okay, so you can pick a business, pick a chiropractor, you pick an attorney, anything like that. Just pick a business that's interesting to you or that the group decides on. Yes?
Is it a problem you're solving? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
For the problem you're solving, are we solving like a management problem they have or like a marketing?
Yeah, so this is marketing focused. So think about whatever business you've decided to pick. Think about how you can bring more business to them through Facebook. So the way to do that, so think about what is their customer dealing with right now that you're solving. So if you're a chiropractor, your back hurts. So that's the problem that you're solving, right? Does that make sense? Another thing, most of my clients, whenever I talk to them, I tell them you have to call within 15 minutes. Almost nobody does that. If you don't call in 15 minutes, without getting technical, connection rate goes to 86%, then 62% after an hour and a half. Stop, everybody. All right, everybody, stop. All right, so did everybody get to picking your type of offer? Did anybody not get to pick your type of offer? That's awesome. All right, so we're going to go into the last step, which is picking the theme. I'm going to show you the table. I'm going to jump back here. Thought I had it. Okay, so the last step is, I just couldn't show you both at the same time because I don't know how to format stuff apparently. So here's the table. So just pick one of these. Take literally 2 seconds. And between everybody, just pick one of these and write the first line of your ad. And keep in mind that you're trying to solve a problem. So start with one of these, and I'll give you 3 minutes, and we'll go from there.
Do you have to start with the title attention? Do you have to?
No, you don't have to.
Okay,
No. It's just you're announcing something. So a good example is something that's newsworthy. So if you say, hey, coming out this year, or hey, this new AI tech will definitely help you out. Will improve your lifestyle, something like that. Doesn't have to be attention, yeah. It's the short and sweet, exactly. But attention grabbing, something that will change your life by tomorrow. You want that.
That's true. That's the only way I'll ever react. So.
Yeah, exactly, yep. Yep. All right, so does everybody have that first line? Yes? All good? Anybody not have that first line figured out? Awesome, all right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have you guys get up independently and just say the one line so we have the beginning of the ad. We can talk about the rest of it later. So pick a representative, someone who's not bashful, someone that can speak loudly. You can pick yourself, that's fine. Let me jump ahead. Okay. Let's see. Okay, all right, we're going to get started. So we're going to start from the back corner here, the group back here. Who's the representative from the back corner? That was you, okay. If you could stand up and walk me through who is it that we're talking to, the problem you're solving, the theme of the ad, and what is the offer?
We're trying to shake up the clothing industry with H&M.
Okay.
Our audience is young men, preferably like high school, juniors, seniors, and the problem we're solving is that it's expensive to dress well, You see everybody these days, they're flexing on Instagram and you're trying to look fresh, but you can't spend your money because you don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
And our type of offer was a $10 offer with $50 purchase. Usually it's like $5 off of 50, but we're going to give you an extra 5, sweeten the deal.
Nice.
There's controversy on that.
Love it.
Our theme is click this link to get $10 off of your next $50 purchase. What is it? Restrictions apply.
Always have the asterisk, guys. I love that. Thanks. That was really good. So he picked a perfect, and I'm sure all of you have picked a really good one too, but he solved the exact problem that people want to look stylish. High school kids, college kids want to look stylish, but they just can't afford it. So he's giving them a discount for these awesome looking clothes. That's a great pitch. And you didn't have to get too crazy either because people understand what a shirt is. So that's not too bad. I love it. Okay, so who's the next group, next row down?
So our industry is the electronics and technology industry.
Okay.
And where we're talking to 18 to 50-year-olds, and the problem we're solving is it's really expensive, obviously, go buy a new phone if you crack your screen or something. So what we're doing is our offer is going to be 25% off your first purchase if you get like you break guy 6. So we did the whole sick and tired. So if you're sick and tired of watching videos on a broken screen, come and get your phone.
That's good. Love that. Thank you. So I'm curious, just a raise of hands, how many people like the sick and tired of watching your screen as it's cracked, as you're about to cut your finger, but you just got to watch that cat video? Might already have one, yeah. All right, buy from him. Okay, awesome. So the next group on the next row down.
Alright, so we did based off of our industry, based off of a recording studio.
Okay.
Our audience is 18 and older, because you're going to have a pretty wide range of people that want to sing or record music videos there. The problem with recording studios is the accessibility to them. There's not a ton of them around, like McDonald's, they're not on every corner. And then another problem we decided to do too was cost. And the type of offer we wanted to have extended hours to go with the accessibility. And then our first package, you'll get 25% off. And our theme was going to be name dropping. So DJ Khaled records at our studio. So I got one.
Love it, love it. Very good, thank you. So another one there, you could turn it around and say, become the next 2 chains on a dime. Something to that effect. All right, so the next one, coming from the back.
All right. So the industry selected was Anheuser-Busch, the alcohol company. So our audience was young college students. The problem we're solving is that college students turn over like fitness focus these days. Beer is not good for that. So we're gonna like make a low calorie beer. That's better, like a 0 calorie beer. So the offer was a free T-shirt with the first 6-pack. And then the theme was fear. So we had a little drawing, and you got the 6-pack, and you did like a rip through the 6-pack, and the line is, do you want this 6-pack or that 6-pack?
Yes.
Free T-shirt today.
Love that. Very good. All right, so the back row just going around. I'm not sure which one the next group is.
All right, so our industry is the transportation industry. Our company is Limelight. The audience is college students, and the problem we're solving is the gone to walk to class every day. And so our line that we're using for the ad is: are you fed up with long walks and blazing heat just to go to class? Lime bikes is your solution. And the offer we have with that is the first ride is free.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, the next group on the next row. I'm not sure which one is which.
Our industry was the organic restaurant industry. Our audience were millennial women. The problem we were solving was offering healthy food options as well as obesity. The type of offer was a free appetizer with a meal and purchase, and our theme was a joke. And we did argue that we're an organic restaurant. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because he was cage-free in our candy.
That's awesome. All right, next group.
So the industry pick was sports, specifically UCF men's soccer. Our audience is UCF students. The problem is they have low attendance. So our offer was attend a UCF game and get a free drink or appetizer. The theme we used was announcement. Basically the line we used was, want a free app or drink from Burger U? Attend UCF men's soccer game versus SMU this Friday.
Love it. Thank you. That was awesome, guys. That was better than I expected. So did everybody enjoy that? Was that fun? All right, awesome. I love doing that. It's amazing how, now there's a lot of ways to learn how to write good ad copy, which is what they call it, but having a structure like this and just being able to check the box, I have this for my process. Whenever one of my account managers goes in, they have this table in front of them and they just pick what sounds good and they start with that. Having a starting point like this beats everything else. You could walk around for hours in circles, which I do a lot, and get nowhere. But if you have a line to start with, it gets you many places. So how cool is advertising? So advertising is basically the lifeblood of nearly all business. So there are some industries that have very quirky ways to get business through referrals, but any great company does advertising. It is basically the cash to be able to sustain a business, to be able to employ people, to be able to make an impact. Apple, for example, Coca-Cola, they advertise, and that's the only way to make it work. You can make great businesses. People's livelihoods count on it. I work with a lot of small businesses who start out with just one person, and that's themselves, and they can build up to 20, 30, 50 employees. They've just employed 50 people. That's a great impact. What I love about the agency business myself is it's quickly adapting. I'll tell you, so Facebook and Instagram is several years old already. I'm pushing into, in terms of advertising, I'm going into YouTube myself. There's a lot of people that are looking at Musical.ly. Snapchat is a thing and then it's not a thing, so we'll see what happens there. But there's so many apps that just keep popping up, and the point is when you're advertising, you just need to get in front of the people that will buy your product. So people are so stuck on, maybe next week when Facebook is gone and Schmakesbook is around, I'm going to be advertising on there. I don't care that it was Facebook before and I learned how to do it. People have moved and people are looking for entertainment at other places. So you just have to adapt and move there. Yep. Love that question. Because I asked that same question for the first 5 years of my business. So the number one answer is I didn't focus on marketing and sales, bringing in new customers. What happens when you start a business, not to go quite off topic, but when you're starting a business, you have to get customers. And if you don't have enough people coming in, you start charging really low and you can't afford to even survive off of what you're charging them. You don't have enough coming in, so you can't even support yourself in the volume game. So marketing advertising is where it all begins. Look at a business as the start point is figure out how to advertise. And this is the way that I did it. To go one step deeper, I struggled for the first 3 or 4 years because I didn't do this. It was the biggest problem. I had gotten to a point where I couldn't afford to eat. It got pretty crazy, and it was because I just didn't follow this path, which is why I'm so passionate about this. This is what brings people to large companies and what helps you grow the fastest. So that would be the number one thing. Marketing and sales, the rest of the problems will find themselves for you to solve after you get that done. Anything else?
With the way Facebook has changed over the last few years for smaller businesses, how are you, I work for one that's like really struggling to get consumers to give their product to consumers.
That's not rare.
So the way Facebook's been changing everything, they can't get anyone to their sites because reaching people. What are your suggestions for that?
For sure. What kind of business?
One of the ones I'm looking for is a beauty blog. So beauty product.
So it's the actual beauty product, like they're selling
They sell
eyeliner and all that?
They sell some, but most of their stuff is mostly just like a beauty website that their main source of income is the traffic.
Okay. Yeah, so Facebook will work because there are 2 billion people on Facebook. I'm sure of that group, people will buy. So outside of that, Facebook pages, especially this year, by the way, Facebook changes every single month. So talk about adapting fast, they go fast. If you have a Facebook page and you are getting customers through that and you're posting updates, just this year, engagement rate or view rates, basically if you make a status update and the percentage of people that will see your post dropped from 8% to 2% this year. So you lost 75% of all the people that will ever see your post on Facebook. So actually that's a great point. So if anybody's posting on Facebook and you're trying to get started and nobody's responding, it's because most people aren't actually seeing it. Facebook has dropped everything down to 2%. You could have 100 people liking your page. 2 people on average are going to see your status updates. That sucks. So don't rely on that. So that's the first thing. Second is do ads. Facebook is forcing everybody to go to ads or else you won't survive. Yeah, so I will figure out how to get that sent. I have my email address up there. And
The one that I have.
sure, yeah.
For them.
Okay, yeah, so she'll post it.
I'll put it up for you guys.
What is it?
Thomason, T-O-M-O-S-O-N.
Okay.
It's a website where companies that like make people who want it for free do it free, and in return they'll just like spread the word for you.
Perfect. Actually, that's a great point. When you have a smaller margin product, I'm not sure, are they expensive? Is it expensive makeup or is it somewhat? Okay, all right. Yeah, when you deal with, I keep saying dog collars, so I'm going to stop saying that. I'm going to say cat socks. So I actually helped somebody who was trying to sell cat socks. Didn't work out. So when you're trying to sell something there's not that much money in it, you do have to go to more of what you're talking about, which is trying to promote yourself in other ways, trying to get people to share your Facebook page and they'll get a discount. So there's other ways to do it for lower margin products. If there's enough in there, though, advertising is the quickest way to get there. That's awesome. So that's a 3-day seminar. But so cut me off if I'm getting close. I can't. I see the light. I can't really. Okay. There's about 3 things that I did. The first one is I advertised myself. I built up my own marketing machine, and if somebody came in through Facebook or through Instagram, it was an easy question to ask them. They say, well, does your stuff work, or why would I go with you? And the question could be back, a little snarky, well, you found me, right? So that was one. That was an easy one. I used to network a lot back in the days. I'd go to, there's groups called BNI. They're private groups. There's Chamber of Commerce meetings. That's the slow way to go. But if you have a great personality and people love you and you have like a clown hat, people remember you. Thirdly, there's somebody in your network, your friends, your family, that has a business, or they may be just starting. Either do it for them for free or do it super cheap and get them to sign on. Even if it's free, it's fine, but make a case study out of it. Tell them they came in, they hired me as a consultant, they were doing this before and now they were doing that. Even if, no matter how small it is, that's your first step. Just find somebody really cheap and easy, make a case study out of it. Does that help? Okay, awesome. Anything else? Awesome. We'll wrap it. Is there anything else I need to mention? Okay, awesome. Thank you guys, appreciate it.